Hello, beautiful ones. How are you? Yesterday, I made a short video where I talked about how we all exist in the same space. And the reason why this is important, this topic, and why I felt it was important to discuss was because a lot of us are actually coming into our multidimensionality where we are experiencing ourselves as much more than we ever thought we were, and where our world is becoming a lot more magical, but can also be confusing at times. And so I wanted to just expand on this topic a little bit. In particular, I wanted to talk about the topic of this type of veil, as it's called, that exists, which I see as a type of like a barrier in a way that was set up to keep different realities or different realms, dimensions separate, because we all exist in that same actual space. So something had to be created to appear to keep the different worlds separate, even though they're not separate. So this type of layer was actually put over the beings that were incarnating on the planet. That's something that has been thinning, and it's been changing. And so you'll hear a lot of, like, I've been hearing stories, and even just my world has just become very trippy. A lot of things I can't explain, and so you'll hear about like glitches and stuff like that. And just the life that I once knew has changed so much, and it's going to continue to do so in a wonderful way. But there's a lot of things that do still need to be cleared for our collective, and so there's still some stuff that we still have to experience. But like I have always said, that we are being helped through this process, and we are all very, very strong, infinite divine beings that can actually handle whatever's coming our way. And so there's this people that are, I guess, just experiencing being able to see spirits, or being able to, like, their intuition's coming on. And so there's areas where, like, for example, people talk about like haunted areas, and areas that are like just kind of magical. And I see these areas as like interconnecting points where you can see multiple realities that occupy that space that you wouldn't normally be able to see, but under the right conditions you'd be able to see them. So there's just areas in the planet, I would say, where this veil or this barrier is like not as, it's like an interconnecting point, so it's not as strong. And so there are times, and there are under certain conditions, where you're able to see different realities that you wouldn't normally be able to see with the naked eye. So it's pretty interesting, and I know a lot of people are scared of it, but I go to these places, and where there's like spirits or ghosts, and it's like they have like their own story to tell, like they're just, a lot of them are just beings like us, and some of them are just passing through. Some of them have stayed there for different reasons, like part of their energy has stayed there. And so there's a lot of different explanations for like ghosts and people sensing spirits, but it's that we actually all exist in the same space, but for different reasons we have come here, and we are only experiencing ourselves as existing in one reality, in one space, with one body, when in fact that's not the case. And what's happening now with the planet is that a lot of us are awakening to that truth, and are just going through a type of a transformation that is allowing us to see things that we weren't able to see. And it's not something to be feared, or something to be afraid of. Like I say, we're always meeting ourselves. So when you look at it from a more expansive point of view, what you actually see, or what you realize, is just that what you what you are in different forms. You're meeting yourself in different forms. Your own energy is being met in a different body. And from that point of view, we're actually not judged. We're not condemned. We're able to see ourselves in many different ways. It's an interesting idea to think that alongside a monster, there's also an angelic being or a pure being. You realize that you actually exist you exist in multiple places, but you exist in that space where there is both. Beyond that, you exist in a space where there is none. So it gets a little trippy if you I think life is pretty trippy, though. I think we look for trippy stuff outside of life, and it's like, no, life is pretty trippy. You don't have to watch TV to watch trippy things. Just watch life. So, we exist and we come from a place where there is no form. It's like a void, and out of that void comes all the life, comes everything that you see. All of the light comes from that. All of life comes from there. The thing is that it's not to condemn the dark, the light, or to condemn the polarities. It's, we definitely, that's not the way to move forward, I would say, in my experience. You realize that these two polarities are actually, they're married to each other, and they are like in a divine dance, as others have echoed also in other teachings, have viewed life and creation. So these two polarities they're working together, and we obviously we forget that, we choose to forget that when we come here, but these two polarities are contributing to our experience, and to the experience that we're having now. So it's interesting to think that we can be both, but also be none. But to me, I feel like there's a certain freedom in that. We can think that there's something really scary, but there's also something beautiful, and so it just depends on your perspective and how you want to look at it. And that's really where the power lies, is in your perspective and what perspective you choose. So beyond that, you can realize how expansive and how immense you are, to be able to hold all of it, to be all of that, and yet to be a space that is none of it. You never cease to exist. Actually, you're always what you are, no matter what form or body you take. You're always you. So when a lot of us want to run away from this now, from this moment, from the suffering, and it makes sense that we want to run away from the suffering. I mean, if you look at humanity, think about what humanity has been through as a collective, and it's like we're all walking around needing a gigantic band-aid to help us, because we have all been through so much as a collective and individually. And a lot of those things need to be addressed internally and externally. And, you see a lot of the world, the way that it's acting, it's like a one big, PTSD. Everyone has like a post-traumatic disorder, and we're all acting, going to war, in violence, killing each other, and all of this out of like the wounds that have been put on us, or that we've put on others, that are just kind of bleeding out. It's like the pain, it just bleeds out, and that's how it gets passed down from generation to generation. And now we're the generation that has to be like, this stops here. We have to be the ones to be like, this stops here. We want peace. We don't want war. We want harmony. Imagine, you guys, what we could do if we all work together, if we actually all work together. Imagine what we can do if we stop fighting each other and we all put all our energies and all our creativity together as humanity. We could create the most beautiful, wonderful place. I mean, beyond our wildest imaginations, because we are so creative and we are so intelligent. And when we work together best. So it's important to realize that, and it's important to realize that, our interconnectedness is it binds us, and we can all help each other by helping ourselves and by helping the collective, and that it's actually helping much more than the collective. So there are people that want to run away from this, and they're suffering. They want to kill themselves. I talk about that because that's that's something that is that we don't talk about enough. I would say, we don't like to talk about openly, and it's very difficult to talk about, and yet so many of us experience it and have gone through it and know the suffering and the agony of feeling like there's no other way to relieve our suffering than to end our what we perceive as our existence. And the crazy thing is that a lot of the times what we're doing is we're just running away from ourselves, running away from our suffering. And that's the one place you can't run away from. You can't run away from yourself. Whenever you take anything to try to run away from the now, or you do anything, whether it be, watching TV, or, having sex, or eating, or whatever, drinking, whatever it is that we do to try to run away, it doesn't work, because we really can't do that. No matter where we turn to, we're always going to be facing ourselves. Eventually, you have to go within, which is what suffering allows us to do. It's a great opportunity of suffering. It allows us to go within. But eventually you have to go within, and guess who's there? You are. What you are is there. And a wonderful thing is that you can reconnect to your essence, to that aspect of yourself that is all loving, and it connects you to a great amount of knowledge, of wisdom, love. It replenishes you with the purest, all-encompassing, infinite love. And it's all that you are. It's not just a part of you, as I say. You know, it's even the darkest parts of you, even the most darkest evil people. It encompasses all of that. The energy that you are, who we are in truth. It sees us for what we truly are in truth, not what we think that we are or we've been told that we are. This energy knows that we are much more than just humans. It knows that we're more than just one body. It knows what we are. And you know, I say it sometimes, is, you know, I say I don't have a name, but it's like we're not confined to one space because we exist in all of them. And like I say, a lot of us are going to start having the experience of existing in multiple planes, and also almost healing a lot of things that allow us to be more loving, be more compassionate, and be more creative. And so I love you all. I'll stop there on that topic. So today we had, I haven't checked the internet in a few hours, but today we had earlier, I believe around 9 or 10, we had AM Pacific. We had X flare, like X 2.7. It was a pretty strong one. And so I was feeling like anxious, like I just was like angsty, like I didn't really know what to do with myself. Like I was like, I want to get up, but then I was like, no, I think I want to lay down and just like relax. I just feel kind of sleepy. And so I meditated, and I think that kind of helped relax me. And then I was like, I want to get up, but then I was like, no, I want to sleep. I was just like restless, like I didn't know what to do with myself. But eventually I came out here, and I always feel replenished by nature also, which is beautiful. It balances you, it reharmonizes you, it sets you to the frequency where you need to be. It's beautiful. It will help you. So anyways, I love you, and you have a beautiful day, night, wherever you are. Bye-bye.